What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got ourselves another lovely new Digimon card to be talking about. The daily reveals over on the Twitter are coming strong, which means the daily videos over on this channel are also coming along strong. We've got a green option card to be talking today, and it's Giga Blaster. And it's probably not going to surprise you that our translation comes from the lovely Jason Snowjacks. Gee whiz, I feel like we say that quite a lot. Then again, we do, because our translations mostly come from the lovely Jason Snowjacks. So what we have is a free cost option card, and what you do, well, you've actually got two choices. Either you take one of your opponent's Digimon and put them to rest mode, or you take two of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 power or less and put them to rest mode. This is good. This is very, very good. Now, this is kind of reminiscent of a bunch of cards we've seen. We've seen most of the typings have the ha ha ha, I'm screwing up your game plan kind of option card. The now you can't do anything kind of option card. The thing is, this is far, far cheaper, but on the face of it, it looks a little bit less powerful. So I think probably the gold standard here is Gaia Force that we got in the red starter deck that just lets you destroy any Digimon whatsoever, which is kind of a little bit powerful, albeit it was an 8 cost, so it was also pretty gosh darned expensive. In the blue starter deck, we got Cognitus Breath to let you return one of your opponent's Digimon back to their hand, discarding all evolution sources, so it wouldn't quite destroy like Gaia Force would. It would destroy all the evolution sources, putting the expensive one in your opponent's hand that they would then have to pay to play again, which they wouldn't always be able to do. Okay, fair enough. And then over in the yellow starter deck, we got Seven Heavens, a 7 cost that took one of your opponent's Digimon and gave them 1,000 less power until the end of the turn. But of course, that comboed really, really nicely with some of the other yellow cards that we saw in the yellow deck. Like, for instance, Patamon, where if an opponent's Digimon's DP became 0 and got destroyed, you got +1 memory. Or the Digitama Tokamon, who, well, again, it is an evolution-y skill. These were all evolution skills. When an opponent's Digimon is destroyed by having its power lowered to 0, this Digimon gains 1,000 power for the turn. So it made sense. And this is where we circle back to the new green card that's gone and been revealed today. Because actually, Giga Blaster works really nicely in the context of a green deck. Now, it is significantly cheaper than the other options we've just looked at. Remember, there was no green starter deck to do a straight comparison. But then, by the same token, all you're doing is putting the Digimon to rest. You're not destroying them, you're not taking them off the board, you're resting them up. Now, we need to look at the exact order of turns here because that comes quite important. The first thing you do during your turn is you put all of your cards that are rest to active. What this means is if you put your opponent's Digimon to rest on your turn, they will become active at the beginning of their turn. Now, this is a good time to point out the security effect. The security effect says activate this card's main effect. So if it comes out as a security card, you can rest your opponent's Digimon on their turn, and hopefully you then rest them before they're about to attack, and your opponent loses an attack. If you put your opponent's Digimon to rest on your turn, they will become active straight away on your opponent's next turn. So why do you want to turn them to rest mode? Well, the main reason, if you're not pulling off any other fancy combos, and we'll talk about some fancy combos in just a moment, if you're not pulling off any fancy combos, the reason to put them to rest is so you can attack them. General rule is you can attack resting Digimon and destroy them. You cannot attack active Digimon. So what you do is you put them to rest so that you can then go ahead and destroy them, and life is good. Putting them to rest to stop them attacking only works as a security skill, because putting them to rest on your turn means that it then goes to their turn and they become active, etc. But we need to start looking at some of these green Digimon cards here, because we've actually seen a bunch of green Digimon cards, and several of them really do, well, they benefit from having cards at rest. So how about Mega Kabuterimon? When you attack, now it is an inheritable skill, so you only get it as a level 6 or above. But when you attack, if there are 2 or more of your opponent's Digimon at rest, you get an extra 1 memory. Now, of course, this combos beautifully with Giga Blaster here, because if your opponent's got 2 5000 DP or lower Digimon on the field, you just put 2 of them to rest. Then you attack with your level 6 that evolved from Mega Kabuterimon, and oh look, now you get the extra memory. An extra memory is good. It's a very good thing. So this works very, very nicely indeed. And that's what we've seen so far, but let's just take a quick step back, because we've seen a bunch of resting effects on green Digimon. So for instance, we could look at Tentomon. When you attack, you put one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 power or less to rest. Oh, yeah, that works quite nicely. And then, of course, we've seen Rosemon. When an opponent's Digimon attacks the player or the security, if this Digimon is at rest, you put one of your opponent's Digimon to rest. So the green cards, and we've not seen that many of them, we'll see more as time goes by. The green cards we've seen so far have interactions with Digimon, either putting them to rest, or if they already are at rest. So this, I presume, is a card where we can't quite see yet how good it's going to end up being. My inkling is that this is a card that gets better and better and better as we see more green Digimon. We've already seen one skill that really does get way better when your opponent's Digimon are at rest. Can you honestly tell me that you believe that's the only one we're going to see over in the green deck? I refuse to believe it, ladies and gentlemen. I think there's going to be way, way more. And that means that this card's going to get better and better. Plus, of course, we've got other ways of putting your opponent's Digimon to rest. We've already seen a couple of them. So, I think this is going to be one of those ones where we really don't know the full story yet. Yes, obviously, at its base, you could play this in any deck, assuming, remember, in order to play an option card, you have to have a Digimon or Tamer of the same colour on the field. But you can just play it with anyone and go, ha ha ha, I'm putting you to rest and attacking you. And that's fine. You know, your opponent's got a Metal Garurumon out, and Metal Garurumon makes itself active when it attacks, so clearly taking it off the board sooner rather than later is a good thing. That's fine, you can take threats off the board. That's not what interests me that much about Giga Blaster. What really interests me about Giga Blaster is the fact that you can combo with a lot of green cards, I'm presuming at least, that haven't been revealed. I mean, in terms of green Digimon, we've seen exactly 9 of them so far. There's plenty more we haven't seen, and that means that there's going to be other combos out there, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is what really excites me about Giga Blaster. I love the idea of putting your opponent's Digimon to rest to stop them attacking, but you're playing this option card on your turn, and the first thing you do during your turn is put all your cards in rest mode to active. As a security card, yes. But as it stands at the moment, we've got recovery skills that'll put the top card of your deck down as a security card, but we've not seen anything yet that will allow you to pick a card and put it down as a security. If we do get that functionality in the future, and you've got to imagine that at some point we will, that seems like a fairly obvious thing that is going to be added to the game as time goes by. If we get that in the future, then I'm getting a whole heap more excited about this, because at that stage, we're going to be able to put this down as a security card, and then your opponent's going to hit that security card, and then they're going to be in a whole heap of trouble because now their Digimon are getting put to rest at a time when they don't want their Digimon being put to rest. Then you're actually taking attacks away from them. So at the moment, yes, I think it's a fun card. But I really, really don't think we've seen everything we're going to see from this. And I'm not ranking the cards yet, we do not have enough Digimon cards to really start giving ratings to these cards. It's something I'll almost certainly start doing in the future, but I think at the moment, I don't think it would be fair to start rating these cards because we just don't have a big enough sample size of cards to really make it worth doing. But the rating I would be giving right now would be underpowered. I would be giving a very reserved rating now, waiting for it in the future. Is it going to impact the game as much as dropping a Gaia Force? No. Clearly it's not. Destroying a Digimon is obviously better than putting it to rest 99% of the time. Sometimes you'll need to put it to rest to get the extra memory and that'll win you the game. Yay! But most of the time destroying it's better. And if you want a parallel for resting 2 Digimon, how about Giga Destroyer? A 6 cost that destroys 2 Digimon with 4,000 power or less. That is way better than the rest 2 5,000 power Digimon. It's a cheap card that can put them to rest, and I've shown you that that can be good, at least I hope I have. But keep this card in mind, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to get way better as time goes by. But for now, I want to know what you think about all this good stuff, so let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, and follow me on Twitter at the Wossy, where we talk Digimon and a whole bunch of other games. And do please consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.